Yes, kung inaabangan mo yung Insta360 X6 this year, nope. Instead, the brand surprised us with this, the Insta360 X4 Air.
Built-in microphone, so I'm not...
For context guys, Insta360 has been the brand when it comes to 360 cameras. As in, sila na talaga yung gold standard. They've been quiet at this for a while and they've been refining the 360 formula, I think if I remember it correctly, year 2017. And that one was with the Insta360 one. And I think ngayon parang near perfect na talaga sila and they've really reached the peak. Oh, and by the way, what I'm holding is the X5 in satin white. This one is their limited edition. And of course, the topic of today's video was just the X4 Air. I will be doing a bit of comparison as well, so you have an idea who this camera is really for. At the same time, though this is in paid partnership with Insta360, you would know if it's actually worth getting. Yes guys, I will answer that question honestly. Okay, so when the brand first sent me this camera, ang una agad pumasok sa isip ko, why X4 Air and not X5 Air? Apparently guys, yung X4 Air isn't a light version of the flagship X5. Instead, it's a more accessible evolution of the X4. According to the brand, this camera was born because of the users' feedback, which really means they really listen. Users are asking for something lighter, easier to use, travel-friendly, but still delivers that 8K 360 footage. So basically, same 8K power but smaller body. Alright, so let's start with price and availability. This new X4 Air is available in any Insta360 official stores in Lazada, Shopee, even TikTok Shop, and of course, their official website and official retail stores. Here are the official prices. Again, sometimes this differ depending on like sale and kung saan mo siya bibilhin. This also comes in a graphite black, which is what I have, and Arctic white. Don't worry, the white version of this is not limited edition. In terms of design, again guys, I mentioned this a lot, it's smaller, slim and bar-like design. In terms of the thickness, they are pretty the same, but shorter lang ng onte than the X5. At the same time, of course, they also have to make the display smaller, which is totally fine with me. Actually, in the duration of me using this display, I didn't really find it lacking. Kumbaga, hindi bitin. And one of the biggest upgrade for this X4 Air, kung i-compare natin with the X4, is that it now has a user-replaceable lens. So yes, I think they really made sure na mahirapan kayo to choose between the X5 and the X4 Air. And can we also talk about this new single button layout? Dati kasi, again, kung titignan nyo, it used to have two buttons. One for the record and one for switching modes. And now we got one button under the screen. It's simple, intuitive, and honestly, a small change that makes a big difference when you're shooting on the go. And then in terms of battery compartment and card slot placements, they are located the same. So kung sanay ka sa Insta360 ecosystem, you'll feel at home. I think my only issue with 360 cameras of Insta360 is the fact that we really have to remove the batteries pa just to get the micro SD card. Tanggalin mo to, tapos kukunin mo dito yung card. I mean, it's not that inconvenient, but other brands kasi, pwede mong alisan yung micro SD card nila without removing the battery. Now, one of the things I found out with the X4 Air is that it is waterproof, same thing with the X5. Meaning, it's waterproof up to 15 meters kasi compared with the X4 na regular, it's only 10 meters. Not that I would go that deep. Again, I don't swim and I haven't really tried this camera underwater. It's good to know that it has that added 5 meters. Anyway, let's talk about how it actually performs in real life. To manage your expectations, this is an action cam first before anything else. So it may not bring new software features, but it still carries over all the good stuff from the flagship. And one, that is the active HDR up to 8K 30 FPS. Also, the flow state stabilization plus 360-degree horizon lock. There's also adaptive tone for balanced skies and shadows. And of course, the portrait mode. And for POV shooters naman, it still supports 4K at 60 FPS and of course, the famous invisible selfie stick effect. Actually, this is one of my favorite tricks. At the same time, of course, the control options are here. You can use your voice, gesture, or yung twist to shoot. Perfect for those hands-free moments.
So today we are testing out the new Insta360 X4 Air, and right now I want to know how good the audio is. So let me know if you are liking it or not, because this is the built-in microphone, so I'm not using any external mic.
Actually, in terms of the sensor, since this is an Air, iba siya sa sensor na meron yung X5. The X5 has a larger 1/1.28-inch dual sensor. And then the X4 Air has a 1/1.8-inch dual sensor, which is also different from the X4. Actually, from this pa lang, it's very easy to decide already. For the X5, it lets you shoot iLog for easier flexibility and color grading. Yung X4 Air kasi hindi pwede yon. So if you're into that, mixing colors, color grading, maybe you should go for the X5. Now, if you want something simpler, point and shoot, upload agad, go for the X4 Air. In terms of low light, obviously, you can see on our footage, mas maganda pa rin ang output ng X5. Defined yung details, less noise, more natural color depth. Again, you can't really beat the sensor this one has. If you want the best low light capabilities, you need a bigger sensor. And that is what this camera has that this one don't. Pero alam niyo, honestly, the X4 Air still performs really well for something this small. The low light shots aren't as detailed pero perfectly usable for socials and even YouTube videos. And again, I will repeat, if you're not into pro log color or pure video mode, you won't feel much of a loss. Now let's talk battery. Kung titignan nyo yung battery na meron tong X4 Air, this one, it looks pretty capable. Pero kung itatabi natin siya with the X5, let's remove this and I'll show you guys what I mean. Ayan, look at that difference. Actually, I thought this will be the weak spot of the X4 Air. 2010 mAh lang kasi to, and that is actually the smallest in the lineup. But surprisingly, I didn't see this as a problem. Tinest namin yung 8K 30fps indoors, and of course with the fan blowing para hindi mag-overheat yung camera, and with air condition. It went from 100% to 35% in an hour, which is again pretty good. I tested that because the brand claimed 88 minutes for 8K 30fps. And then 100 minutes naman for 6K 24fps. At some point, medyo malapit or it matches my real-world usage. So yes, mas maliit man yung battery niya than the X5, but with its lightweight 165 grams body, yung trade-off, it really makes sense. It's made for mobility and not for marathon shooting. If I were to give my final thoughts, again guys, we still have pros and cons. The Insta360 X4 Air may share the same DNA with the X5. I forgot to return the battery. Teka, balik lang natin. I believe they still serve different users. X5 is obviously for the pros. Larger sensor, log profile, better dynamic range, and made for long-form content. While the X4 Air, I think it's made for everyone else. Vloggers, travelers, and people who just wants a plug-and-play 360 video camera that is not bulky. And I believe it's a type of 360 action camera that I would actually bring with me everywhere. It makes 360-degree shooting less intimidating, less complicated, but more fun. I think the only con that I can say about this camera is really the low-light videos. But other than that, since I have this camera that can do that, I'm pretty much okay. Anyway, that's it for today's video. If you guys also want me to review stuff like this, let me know. How about you? Anong mas sulit para sa'yo? Is it the X4 Air or the X5? Usap tayo sa comment section. Bye!